yes sir, I'm getting it, no sir, I'm not getting it. You can let me know through WhatsApp text also, real time. You can let me know through Zoom, there is a chat option, and you can tell me via voice also. So that is what I mean. If your video is on, you don't need to do all that because I can look at your faces whether you're nodding your head or not nodding your head. So it becomes much more easy. I want to see if the students are understanding or not. So body language can let me know, and otherwise you have to acknowledge. Students, feel free to keep your videos on, off, up to you. Whoever doesn't have any privacy issues, I would suggest you keep your videos on. Remember, your batch name is Echo 22, E22. Okay. E is Echo in RT. In sessions ahead of today's session, not today, but later sessions, we will teach the ABCD. We will study the ABCD of RT. Like A is Alpha, B is Bravo, C is Charlie. That all we will be doing in upcoming lectures. Today we are going to jump a few steps ahead and actually learn how to make calls. So that whenever you're joining the session, you actually get to, perform the check, readability check, as all pilots do in real environment, which is a compulsion. You have to do a readability check once before you get into the cockpit with your ATC, before you start making your requests. Remember, your conversations with ATC, okay, it's all about, RT is all about communicating with ATC. Your conversations with ATC, they will mostly be all about requests and clearances. You will be looking to request for clearances for things like starting up the engines, doing a pushback for your aircraft. So you will learn how to do a startup, you will learn what is a pushback, then requesting for a taxi, and so on. Everything you will be learning. And you'll be learning how to communicate with the ATC about these situations or during these situations. So what is important is the language. The language sounds like English, but it is English without grammar, in our own words. So it is easy to learn. In your first few sessions, we will be going very slow. Why? Because I want you to completely understand in the lecture itself what I'm teaching, so that you don't have to, do it on your own. And if you don't understand, you have to ask. So we are talking about how to make an RT call today. What is an RT call? Call. We call it a call. It becomes a thing. So one transmission. Okay. Just a second. Harsim has just joined. We'll just let him join.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Harsim. How are you?
All good, sir. How are you?
I was worried you'll not be able to join. I am fine, but very nice to see you in class. Everything okay at your end?
Yes, sir.
Good. We have just started. And students, I hope you all can see the whiteboard. Yes, no, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Whoever can talk, you will talk. And whoever can message, and whoever can use Zoom app emojis, you can use emojis also. Good. And whoever has their videos on, you can just do hand gestures also. Any sort of communication works. Okay, good. Nice to see you, Harsim. Very nice. And we are just getting started. The whiteboard, I'll share again. I think it dropped. Rishi has also joined us. Rishi, are you there? Can you hear me?
Affirm, Victor Tango Romeo India Mike.
Very nice to see you in class. Rishi, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I was worried you will not be joining, but I'm happy to see you. Really nice, really nice. So students who have joined us a little late, try to be on time. But as long as you're not missing the session, I'm happy. But sometimes we just start within 5 minutes of joining the session. So I don't want you all to miss. So if the lecture is at 2 o'clock, get ready 5 minutes before 2 o'clock. Okay. And if you want me to shift your timings here and there, sometimes you can make a request and we'll try to do that. Just give me a second. There is an issue with the whiteboard, trying to fix it. Okay. Anybody has any question before we start? Anybody wants to share anything? Remember, why am I asking this? Because the strategy is when every new lecture starts, we will be giving you time to discuss your doubts from your past lecture. That's why we are doing it. So when you say you don't have any questions or you don't want to ask anything, it gives me confidence that you are up to date with the last lecture. Good. So we are starting with how to make an RT call and what is an RT call. So RT is all about communication between you, the pilot, and the air traffic controllers, and at some times between two different pilots of two different aircraft also. Only one person can transmit at a time. The entire conversation that goes out for one person, one time, is called a call, RT call. If I'm trying to communicate to Mumbai ground, let's say I am flying for Air India. Let's say I'm flying for Air India and okay, my call sign. Okay, in this example, I'm telling you my call sign is Air India 191. You will read it as Air India 191. So read as this, and this is how you will write. First thing to note, okay? You will be writing in codes, but you will be speaking in full words most of the times. So if my call sign is Air India 191, you will notice that 9 I have read out as niner. This is something that we will be learning when we'll be doing numbers and letters. So how to make an RT call. Before we learn how to make an RT call, we will see what does a RT call look like. So my aircraft call sign is this, Air India 191. What does it mean? That today, so basically it means I'm a pilot flying for Air India. And today the flight that I'm going to fly with passengers, okay, that flight has been given an identification. And then the identification of the flight is Air India 191. That identification becomes call sign. That becomes your identity. That becomes your name. And for your entire duration of your flight, from the time you get into the aircraft to do your job as a pilot, till the time you land in your destination and your passengers are off the aircraft and you are off the aircraft. From now till then, the entire duration, your name would be Air India 191. Bhavin, following? Students, let me say this again. Initial few lectures, on purpose, we are going slow. If you are finding it slow and boring, keep up. Don't feel bad about it. Okay? It is a good strategy to do that. What does an RT call look like? So my call sign is this for this example. And let's say that question, I am at Mumbai airport. I need to request for startup clearance. You cannot start the engines of the aircraft without taking permission from the ATC. ATC will always give you permission to move or to do anything with your aircraft. So all your calls will be requests for clearance. Right now, let's assume a situation or a question. We would say that I'm at Mumbai airport. I need to request for startup clearance. So the startup clearance is a call type, a type of call. And what will the call look like? Whenever we are conversing with ATC, for your exams, you have to write what you are speaking. Even in the examinations, you will have to write while you are speaking. This is something that I will train you. And when you are writing, you will divide your paper or your answer sheet or your page into parts. The left side will be whatever you are transmitting. You, that is Air India 1901 for this example. And on the right side, you will write RX, that is whatever you receive, generally the ATC or other aircraft. This, what I'm doing right now, you have to do it, everyone. Divide your page into parts. Left side is transmission, that is you, the pilot, or me, the pilot, if I'm behaving as a pilot in this situation. And right side will be ATC. I'm going to show you how you have to take a startup call, and I'll show you how the ATC responds. And I'll tell you what is a call. It is for example. Okay. We are not teaching you how to make a startup call. We are giving you an example of what a call would look like and what is your ultimate goal after learning radio telephony. Your ultimate goal would be to make calls like this. Got it? Okay, good. So there would be a lot of things in the call that you might not be aware of. Those things we'll be covering when we'll be teaching you how to make a startup call, how to make a taxi call, how to make a pushback call. Okay, so don't get worried if you come across a few terms that you are not aware about. Simple. So you have to be patient that way. The another thing that is very important when we are performing in the examination is that the calls or the transmissions that you will make for the situation, Air India 1901 and I am at Mumbai airport and I need to talk to ATC to take a startup clearance. So look at it, how I'm doing it, and then I'll explain. Mumbai ground, Air India 1901. Stand 2. Boeing 787 moderate IFR Mumbai to Chennai. Passenger on board 130. Security check completed. Information Delta. Request start up. Now students, this one transmission, TX transmission will be pilot. Okay, left side will be pilot. Your transmissions will be on the left side and whatever ATC says or responds will be on the right side. Now, when we have to understand what is a call, this one transmission that I have made in one call, one go without any breaks in between, that is known as one call. Now, this is one call known as a startup call. This is an RT call. Why am I calling it an RT call? Because it has all the essentials of the radio telephony language. Omar, look at the screen. We have written down a call. Mumbai ground. Omar, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Mumbai ground. I'm repeating the call again if anybody has missed writing it down. Mumbai ground. Air India 191. Stand 2. Boeing 787 moderate. So M stands for moderate. It's a code. We'll talk about codes. IFR Mumbai to Chennai. POB is a code for passenger on board. Passenger on board 130. Security check completed. Information Delta. Request startup. This Delta also, in reality, you will just write D because in aviation RT alphabet, D is Delta. Information Delta, request startup. Now, this is a startup call. Okay. It has many elements. You will be learning all different elements for all different situations. That is the benefit of learning RT. You learn everything about a pilot's job. All situations. Maybe more situations than those that real pilots have experienced in life. Because we'll be dealing with a lot of emergency calls also. And pilots don't go through emergencies. Only a few occurrences happen. So what is an RT call? One transmission made by any station. It could be a pilot or it could be an ATC. One transmission is called one call. That is an RT call. So don't worry thinking about what is a call, what is a call. Now this is an RT call. Let's say Bhavin is transmitting to me and I am the ATC. So whatever Bhavin is transmitting once, that is one RT call. Single transmissions are your RT calls. Simple. Our major focus should be on how you frame your first call based upon situations given to you in the questions. In the questions, instead of I am at, in the exam, the questions, instead of I am at, they will tell you, you are at Mumbai airport. And they will not write, I need to. They will just say, you are at Mumbai airport, request startup clearance. Or they will not mention Mumbai airport, but they will give you a flight plan. In that flight plan, they will mention your departure is from Mumbai, and the question will only have this much, request startup. All those techniques will be taught. And when I see that I have to request for startup, I am at Mumbai, I'll make sure I talk to Mumbai ATCs. How many types of ATCs are there? There are 5 types of ATCs. Or we could say there are 6 types of ATCs. But that in another session. That is not our agenda for today. So Mumbai ground is one of the ATCs. This particular ATC person, they are people like you and me. It could be a girl, it could be a guy. Simple. But they are also trained and they are also using radio telephone equipment. Similar to you, but different in construction because they are not in the cockpit. But their language, your language is the same. You have to write these calls, and while speaking, you have to write the way I have done. Slowly and steadily, we will build up your practice to do it. Okay? Remember, the early you start RT, the better is your practice. And initially, we will have alternate lectures only. We will not have 5 days a week. So you can do RT along with other subjects also. Slow and steady, slow and steady. Sometimes you have any other dedication, you can skip the lecture, you can go to your dedication, commitment if you want to do something, and you can continue in your free time by watching the recording and being in the sync. That's why we are naming all lectures, lecture 1, lecture 2, lecture 3, lecture 4. So that if you are missing lecture 2 and 3, you can still attend 4 and you can still manage to do 2 and 3 whenever you're free. And the best part is when you're watching recordings, you can increase the playback speed. Speed आप बढ़ा सकते हो 1x का 1.5x 1.2.5x to save time. Okay, so remember these techniques. Okay, initially 5 to 6 lectures we are going to give you a lot of techniques along with teaching, because these techniques will make you a good performer in the examination. And students, if you're facing disconnections now and then, and if you miss a point, please feel free to ask, sir, I had disconnection, please tell me what did I just miss. Especially students with videos off. Okay, is that clear, everyone with videos off?
Yes, sir.
Everybody has to acknowledge. Pooja, Lakshay, Neha, Yuvinder, you're pending to acknowledge.
Yes, sir. We are VDC, sir.
Good. Neha, is your doubt clear? Transmission is you, pilot, TX, left side. Good. Good job, everyone. So this is one article. Now let's just complete the scenario to show you what's in store for you in future. And you all will be graduating to this level that you will be able to make such calls like you're cutting a slice of cake. As easy, very soft, very smooth. And then only we will go for exams and clear our exams in the first attempt. Remember that. Gurpreet, any issues? Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Good, good. I will be assigning you your own call signs,
Okay.
but not today. Okay, I'll be giving you all your call signs. Whoever doesn't have a call sign, I'll be giving you all your call signs. And you will have your unique call sign, which you will use for all our practice calls. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes, it's for everyone. This is for everyone. Right. So, Arfat, if you have missed anything due to the disconnection, please let me know. Okay? If you have any doubts, students feel free to ask. And if you want to say something and don't want to cut me short, you can raise your hand. I'll write down and I'll tell you to speak. Okay, good. Now let's continue this call. Please write down with me how the ATC is going to give me a response. Okay? So Rishabh, Omar, Yuvinder, Rishi, I hope you're following. Neha, Pooja, Hardik, Lakshya, I hope you're following. Bhavin, Manshi, and Gurpreet, I hope you're following. And Hassan is just reconnecting. Okay, good. So let's finish this. Let's see how the ATC will reply. Harsim, any doubts? Are you able to write this call down? Is the call done? Do we understand what is a call? Victor Tango Hotel Alfa Romeo. Harsim? You're on mute. Okay, fine. We'll continue. So the moment I say request startup, let's see how the ATC responds. Everybody focus on the screen, focus on my voice, and simultaneously write down in your notes. 3 things to do. It's multitasking. That's why it requires practice. When you will develop good control over your fundamentals, that time I will ask you to not look at the screen, just look at my, just listen to my voice and write down calls. Harsim, can you just say something? Are you following? Are you able to understand? Harsim, let me know whenever you are, whenever you hear. So the moment I say request startup, let's see what ATC says. ATC will say Air India 191 Mumbai ground startup approved. Report when ready for taxi. So, did you observe where am I writing this? I am writing this from or below the line where my call I had ended. That is also very important. Harsim, do not worry, as long as you're following even a little bit, it's okay. Initially at the start, such things happen. I'll bring you to speed. Do not worry about it at all. And obviously, you'll always have recordings to watch. So don't be worried about it. And it's good that you're letting me know the situation. Yeah, if you want to go somewhere, you can go, okay? You can just attend the offline session later when you're free from your ceremony. Okay? I hope you're following it, sir. Good, good. Great. So, students, let's come back. Now, this again is a call. Air India 1901, Mumbai ground, startup approved, report when ready for taxi. So they have given us permission to start the engines. Good. You as a pilot will be now starting the engines. First number 2 engine, then number 1 engine. If you're flying a twin engine aircraft. Okay. And for startup, there are many more procedures that you will learn, operational procedures like you have to keep your anti-collision lights on, these lights on. Then you need to have a marshaller who will tell you the way is clear and everything. But all those things you don't need to worry about RT. In RT, it's just conversation and hypothetical assumptions in the exam. Now, a very important part for you after listening to the call given by ATC is to give a read back. Read back is something READBACK, read back. Read back is something which is the backbone of your RT skills in real life also, in examinations also. The meaning of read back is that repeat the information as you have received it from the other person. So if the other person has told me that the startup is approved, then I will repeat the information. Startup is approved. Why do we do it, students? Because in aviation environment, live aviation environment, they will not have a whiteboard like I am having to confirm what I have said and what I have communicated is the same thing or not. Plus, they don't have two-way communication the way we have that we can talk simultaneously. Plus, they don't know each other because it's a blind call. It's on radio. You don't know whom you're talking to. You just have a call sign. Chances are miscommunication can happen. And miscommunication will result into accidents. So in order to prevent accidents, you have to do a read back. And I'll emphasize on read back in almost every session. So you will learn it, how to do the best read back. So I'll show you how the best read back would be. After read back, you have to also acknowledge. Acknowledge, what is the meaning of acknowledge? If I say, Hardik, are you following or not? So whether Hardik is following or not, Hardik has to give me a reply that, sir, no, I'm not following. Or, sir, yes, I am following. Or, sir, wait, I will tell you if I'm following or not, give me some time. Anything Hardik has to say, he has to at least respond to my message so that I know Hardik is listening to me. That is the meaning of acknowledge. Hardik, following?
Yes, sir.
So that is acknowledgement. Simple. If now I cannot see Hardik, so I don't know. So it's like a realistic environment. Okay, so I don't know if Neha is following. I don't know if Pooja is following. So in order for y'all, like Neha, Pooja, everyone whom I cannot see, in order for you to show me that you are listening to me properly and you are learning properly, it's your job as a student, as a pilot, to proactively, by yourself, acknowledge and let me know that you're following. Simple. And acknowledgement does not mean yes or a no. It just means, yes, I am listening to you. I am in connection with you. We have not lost connection. Great. So that mutual satisfaction arises between the two parties, I could say, like the ATC and the pilot, or the pilot and the pilot, or the ATC and the ATC, whoever is talking to each other. We'll be mainly talking about you as a pilot and the examiner as the ATC. Most of the times I'll be the ATC, you will be the pilots. Sometimes I'll also show how you have to behave as a pilot in the examination. Remember, in RT exams, you have to imagine that you're a pilot and not just any pilot, pilot in command. So it will always be your cockpit. Any decision you make as per the rules of the air will be your decision, final decisions. So read back plus acknowledgement plus end with call sign. These three things are important for your replies. So firstly, what is more important is to make a good first RT call like for a startup. After that, the next thing is listen carefully to what the ATC is saying and write it down. Don't miss listening anything. In real aircraft, do you have to write everything? No. But there are certain things that a pilot can write down to remember. But then how is the record of all the conversations kept in the aircraft? Through cockpit voice recorder, CVR. So you don't have to log. Why do you have to log in the examinations and learn this logging? This writing is called logging. To verify what you're listening is correct, what you're hearing is correct, what you're speaking is correct, plus to have a record of a proof of who communicated what and when. That's why stacking is happening. My call is here, ATC call is here. It means the first call was done by me, second call was done by ATC. Now I will write it below, like this, like this, like this, like this. Like how you have WhatsApp chat messages. He said first, then second, then first, then second, like this, stacking. So now let's look at an idle reply. Okay, so now this is the third article, but all in one communication, but independent calls. So to give my readback, I will say start up approved. Will report when ready for taxi. Air India 191. Did I give a readback? Yes, startup approved as it is. So we both are confirming that I got my startup approval. Just imagine if a miscommunication happens. Startup is given to Air India 191, but Air India 911, if there is another aircraft, Air India 911, confuses that they got the startup and they turn on the engine. And there are maintenance engineers and there are other people around the aircraft. Then there is a threat to their life. So you cannot just start your engines without the area being clear, and ATC observes. Okay, ATC observes through binoculars, through their ground radars and everything, whether the area is clear or not. Whether you're following all protocols or not. And then only they will give you the clearance. So it is very important that you mention your call signs at the end so that ATC knows that the correct person has got it. That's why it is very important in all your replies, you have to end with your call sign. Readback given? Yes. Approval got? Yes. Very important. Because many people don't get startup when they request for startup because of some of the other reasons. We will discuss such calls in future. They had given me another instruction after saying startup approved, which was please report when you are ready for taxi. Taxi is when after you have started up, you're going to the runway on engine power, your own engine power. That is taxi. We will be using how to acknowledge. We have acknowledged their message that report when ready for taxi in the same call by saying, so this is acknowledgement. And this is readback. And this is ending with call sign. I'll be repeating these skills again and again, okay? Don't worry. If you're finding it a little complicated right now, don't worry. Just go with the flow. We are just showing you an example of the things that you have to do. It doesn't mean I'm expecting you to learn calls. I'll teach you how to make calls from scratch after we are done with this call. We will be using RT specific words instead of normal English. Those are called as aviation RT standard words and phrases. Readback is one such standard word. Acknowledge is one such standard word. Report is one such standard word. Approved is one such standard word. The benefit of radio telephony in aviation is such that instead of using long sentences like will report when ready for taxi, we have a set of standard words which I will be teaching you, which you can use instead of longer sentences. But let's say I have to ask Rishi, did you understand? And if Rishi says, no, sir, I did not understand. So Rishi's reply, no, sir, I did not understand. It's a lengthy reply. Instead of that, if Rishi will use a RT standard phrase or a word, then the sentence can become short. And that phrase that Rishi can use would be negative. Simple. He can simply say negative. Instead of a whole sentence, he can simply say negative. And there are two benefits. First thing, because of a long sentence, there is no chance of miscommunication happening because I'm just saying negative. A longer sentence could create more chances of miscommunication. And the next benefit is that we are saving a lot of time also. The calls are short. So ATC can handle more aircraft. Now, Bhavin and Gurpreet, it's afternoon time. Are you feeling sleepy?
No, sir.
Fine. Are you feeling bored?
No,
sir, no, sir.
Very interesting.
Fine. Anybody without the video, I hope you have not fallen asleep. I have been told sometimes my voice can make people fall asleep. Awake? Are we awake?
Yes, sir.
Only
Yes, sir.
Yukender is awake, I think. Okay. Others are waking up. Okay, bad joke. Okay, student, don't feel bad. But as you know, I'll try to crack jokes in class to lighten up the mood, okay? And remember, yesterday I had said, my sense of humor is not that good. So the jokes might not be good, okay? Yugandhar, nice to see you, seeing you for the first time. Rishi, seeing you for the first time, nice to see you.
Thank you, sir. Nice
Other
to see you, sir.
students, yeah. One more thing, students, I would have forgotten to tell you all. Because you have just started and joined, apart from Neha, I think for everybody else in the class, we have to have a one-on-one session with each other, okay? To understand your aviation goals and timelines and everything. So you have to know, you have to give me a time when you are free and see when I'm free, and we'll have a 20-minute or 30-minute session one-on-one. Get to know each other, see each other faces, and plan it out. Okay? So I've done it with a couple of students, but I have to do it with everyone. And during your RT training phase, you will be getting one-on-one sessions with me also at the end of your completion. It is going to be completely focused on your individual growth. And we'll be preparing you to clear in your first attempt, okay? So remember that also. So coming back to the call, this is how I have to reply. And ATC might give me a further reply saying, Roger, Mumbai, ground. ATC can reply, cannot reply. It's okay. You don't have to say anything else. Roger is another standard RT word. So every time, if you have to acknowledge, you can simply say Roger. The meaning of Roger in RT, I'll be giving you a list of all these words and their meanings. Like negative is no. For yes, we will use affirm. So from today only, start using these basic words. Instead of no, say negative. We will write a list of 5 words, which I will ask you to use. Roger means I have received and understood your message. But Roger does not mean yes or a no. Yes means affirm. Affirm means yes. That's it. Negative is no. That's it. No other words will be taken as an answer for a yes or a no. So Roger, if you say, it means okay. And okay doesn't mean yes in aviation. Roger doesn't mean yes. But whenever you want to acknowledge, you can start saying Roger in our chats, in our personal conversations, and so on. So this is how one question you have to address in the examination, and similar to this, you could be given 4 questions, 5 questions, 7 questions in the examination. So you'll be learning not just about startup, but everything from start till end. So you'll be learning a lot of things, what to do when you are at 30,000 feet and you have engine fire, you have a passenger facing a heart attack, or ATC, you lose communication with ATC and you have an emergency, or you find yourself in bad weather, you have to deviate, what to do, ATC is not there. You see another aircraft at your flight level, what to do, everything. Most of the calls will be in air only. We'll be imagining that we are in air. So this is how one complete RT conversation looks like in real life in examinations. Okay, and it is made up of small RT calls. Initial call when you place your request, then ATC call that you listen whether they are giving you the approval, whether they are not giving you the approval, then your reply and acknowledgement, and then ending the call. Then you as a pilot would be starting up the engines and everything. What will the pilot do once the startup is completed? It might take around 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so. After that, the pilot will call ATC again. In the exam, you don't have to do it on your own, because you will be asked to go to the next question, and the next question could have some other scenario, not taxi, not takeoff. Maybe they will directly put you in air after startup. But in real life, you would say the call would go on and on like this in real life. I'm just writing it because sometimes if ATC does not say go to the next, examiner does not say go to the next question, then you have to keep continuing the call. They want to see if you know how the call continues. So after some time, when startup is completed, both my engines are working normally on idle and I'm ready for my taxi, this is how the call would be. Mumbai ground, Air India 191, startup completed, ready for taxi, request taxi instructions. Now this can be given to you as another question that requests taxi clearance, or it could be a continuation. Now you are actually completing startup and doing what you were asked to do by ATC, that report when ready for taxi. Now you are reporting that you are ready for taxi, and then you are requesting taxi instructions. But one thing I forgot to mention, this bigger sentence, will report when ready for taxi. Instead of this, I can simply use a standard word, which is WILCO, Wilco. So anything that ATC tells you, like ATC is giving you permission for startup right now, startup approved. So that is real time right now. You will be starting up right now. Then ATC is asking you to do something in near future, that after startup, report when you are ready for taxi. So that is a task ATC is giving me for future. How do you acknowledge that task? By saying that I will comply with your request. I will comply when I reach that point. I will report when I'm ready for taxi after my startup is completed. So I will comply with what you are asking me to comply in a near future. Like this example, that report when ready for taxi is in near future, like 10-15 minutes later on. There you can use a standard phrase like Wilco. And then the call becomes shortened. The call can also be like startup approved, Wilco, Air India 191. Simple. So your call becomes much more smaller. I'll say again, if I'm using Wilco, then how would the call look like? Where do I write it? I'll write it below. The same call, okay? Startup approved, Wilco, Air India 191. Now this is how you have to reply in the exam. The upper call explains you the entire thing, but you can shorten your calls using these standard words and phrases wherever applicable. The more standard words and phrases you will use, the better marks you will get in the examination. That's why in our private conversations in class and in person, whenever we're talking, having counseling sessions, this and that, instead of yes, make a habit of saying affirm. Instead of no, make it a habit of saying negative. Instead of okay, make it a habit of saying Roger. But remember, if you have to say yes, don't say okay, say affirm.
Sir,
Yeah, Manshi, go ahead.
sir, can you please explain the full form of Wilco?
Will comply. Simple. WILL will. COMPLI comply. Yugandhar, you also had a question earlier, right?
Yes, sir. Like requesting QNH will be there as normally. That is a formal question.
Yugandhar, you were speaking so fast. Please speak slower. Say again.
No, sir. Normally we are habituated to after startup will request for normal latest QNH. Sir. That's what I'm saying.
QNH. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. Before startup only, you should do all that. Actually, it will be given to you. No problem.
Yes, yes.
It's good. It's good. You can add that in your calls, but we don't need to add QNH and all in our RT exams.
Normally in regional airports, when we are flying, they'll ask for the latest QNH.
Yes, yes. We need latest QNH, definitely.
Okay. That's it.
If we don't do the altimeter setting, then we will not get proper altitude readings when we are taking off or landing. So we need it.
Yes. Okay, sir. Yeah.
Good. For those who don't know, QNH is a Q code for pressure setting. Pressure setting you need for your altitude indicator, that is altimeter, to show you accurate readings. When you do navigation, you will learn it. Okay, Bhavin, you go with the question first, and Arfat, you stay on standby. One more thing. Standby is also a phrase which means wait, I will call you back. So when the ATC cannot give you approval, and when you are asking for startup approval, ATC will say Air India 191 Mumbai ground standby. So we'll be like, how will you acknowledge? Standing by, Air India 191. So I might ask you all to stand by. Whenever I ask you all to stand by, quickly give me a reply saying standing by, and you can end with your call sign or your names. Because I'm not yet giving you call signs to everyone, so you can end with your names. Yeah, Bhavin, go ahead.
Yes, so my question is regarding the call sign. At some calls, we are using the call sign before, and at some call signs, we are using it later. So is there a pattern for something, or like, is it mandatory to use it at the end only or at the beginning?
Yes, it's a very good question about call signs. Before I give answer to this question, I will say that I will be teaching you all again and again, twice or thrice, this about call signs. Okay. But what I'm saying right now is something that will be taught to you again. So don't worry if you miss it, but still I'm saying it right now. Yes, initially, when you make your first call for any situation, a first call is something that you're talking to ATC maybe after 5-10 minutes also. That is your first call. It could be the first call of the day. It could be the first call between two different scenarios, like startup and taxi. So you will first call the ATC and use your call sign whenever you're making your first calls. That is, you'll use the two call signs first whenever you're making first calls. Whenever you are replying to first calls given to you, like if ATC is trying to make a call to you, there are chances ATC will try to make a call to you, a first call. Then a reply to a first call will also have the first two call signs. The ATC call sign, your call sign. Only the first call and a reply to the first call. The call signs will come first. After that has been established, whatever replies you give, your replies will start with the readback and acknowledgement and end with your call sign. So the replies should always end with your call sign. Is that clear, everyone? If I'm asking this question, is that clear, everyone? You will be replying. Will you say, sir, this is Rishi here? Yes. No, again, you won't do because we have established that communication. So Rishi will say, yes, Rishi. So Rishi has confirmed, yes. Similar, if Rishi has a call sign, he will just use the call sign. Got it? Bhavin?
Affirms Victor Tango Charlie Bravo Lima.
More than y'all, I will be behind your backs to clarify this point. Again and again, I'll be asking and checking that in your calls. So don't worry if you're following partially, 100%, 50%. Arfat, what's your question?
Sir, even I had the same question.
Is it resolved?
Yeah.
Good. So here you make a point for replies. Note these 3 points. For all your replies, note these 3 points. Read back, acknowledgement, end with your call sign. I'll be teaching you all again and again till the time it is in your system. These are the basic elements and fundamentals. And remember, students, for those who have not cleared exams, for those who have cleared exams, those who are going to give exams, if your basics are strong, the rest of the study for that particular subject becomes very easy. And every subject has certain basics and fundamentals. So always focus. Invest more time on studying fundamentals. Don't rush through the initial chapters of any subject. Those initial chapters are basics. Good. Go through the call, observe the pilot call, observe the ATC response, observe the pilot response. Try to soak everything in. When I say soak everything, I have been speaking since what, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, teaching you something. Now I'm going to give you 5 minutes to keep all that in your mind and store it in your mind and in your system. Think about it. Look at your notes. Tell me if you have any questions. Have some discussions with me. Go through your notes. If you want me to scroll up and down, I'll scroll up and down. Think about any doubt that can come in your mind and ask that doubt. If you want to share something, like Yuvinder is sharing one important thing, that's our initially people will also take Q&H, right? Request Q&H. You can talk about that also. Remember, our study sessions should not be like one person is teaching you. Our study sessions should be like it's an exchange of knowledge. I am exchanging knowledge, and my job is to make you understand difficult concepts, difficult languages, and make it easy for you to understand with examples, with what and how. What is your job? Your job is to follow and ask yourself if you're learning it or not. If you're learning, great. If you're not learning, you let me know, sir, मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा है, sir, I cannot understand. Simple. And if you're shy in speaking in front of a group, you can message personally also. So it is your chance to speak. I'm giving you a few minutes. Go through it, what I have given. So this is a call and an entire conversation. How to make an RT call is what we'll do after this 5 minutes, after 4 minutes. Keep thinking about what we are learning. Omar, please go ahead.
So what does information delta stand for? It is that information we received during startup from the 80s.
Exactly, it is the information we receive during startup from ATIS.
Oh,
You're right about it, but let me talk about it. Information delta, okay. This is a code for the weather or the airport information or ATC information, we call it, at your departure aerodrome or your arrival aerodrome. So every airport will give every pilot the current weather information, active runway, how far is the cloud, what is the visibility, what are the pressures. So Yuginder, one reason why people don't request QNH is because the QNH information is given in this only, information delta. By default.
Yes, normally they will ask for before they will coming to land or before.
That is very important because that report can be an old report coming 30 minutes before or 1 hour before.
Yes, yes. Normally we hear we will be listening to this call before landing like 15 minutes before.
Yes. So it is always good to verify. That is a good technique.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm just saying QNH is also there in the DATIS, okay? That's what I'm saying. And you can always request also. So coming back to this information, small airports, you have to ask ATC about the ATC information. Mumbai, let's say Aurangabad Tower, Air India 191, request ATC information. When I say request ATC information, they will give me Air India 191, Aurangabad Tower. This is Aurangabad ATC information. Active runway 02, winds calm, cloud this, QNH that, This is the temperature, this is the dew point, etc., etc. Okay. And you will get that information, and then only you will prepare your departure. Every pilot needs to know that information. Okay. And that information will be asked by ATC. But on bigger airports, larger airports like Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, ATC does not have time to give this report every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds to every other pilot. So ATC has a system where an automatic voice transmits this information on a frequency, ATIS. And the digital version of it is known as DATIS, D-A-T-I-S. Yugandhar, METAR is also good. METAR definitely you have to read through. But during landing and takeoff, ATC is the best person to get your QNH.
Yes, sir, exactly, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So good points. So coming back to this point that I was talking about. So that information is a voice recording. I'll try to do that right now. Make you all hear how the call looks like. And that information will be coded. Why will it be coded? Because right now in the morning, the visibility will be less due to dew and fog. But in the afternoon, the visibility will be clear. So the information is changing. Visibility will be low in early mornings and at night, but visibility will be good during the day. So the same report cannot be given to pilots. So when the first report is given, let's say the first report is given at 6 a.m. in the morning. So that report will have a code called information alpha, the code. And that code will be transmitted start of the message and end of the message. So that you remember. Okay, information alpha, that is the code. Then you will listen and you will note down all the important parameters before your flight. In RT exams, you don't need to understand these parameters, but we'll tell you, we'll teach you. You don't have any applicable use in RT exams, but it is good to know because in aviation, you have those applications when you become a pilot. So then talking about the information alpha, A is alpha, okay? Let's say the visibility improves after 3 hours. So they will make a fresh report and they will, after A, what comes B? So they will give a fresh report and that code will change from information alpha to information bravo. Let's say the visibility improves further in the afternoon. So a new message will be sent out and the code will change from information bravo to information Charlie. A is alpha, B is bravo, C is Charlie. So A, B, C, D goes chronologically. It means you are following the current information. It is important in your startup to mention which coded information you have listened to from the ATC to confirm if you have got the accurate information. Only during startups. So when I say information delta or D, it means I have heard the frequency and the weather report and the code for that report was information delta. Now ATC will check when you are speaking this, ATC will check if information delta is the current weather pattern or weather pattern has changed. If weather pattern has changed, ATC will ask you to go back and listen to the frequency again, and ATC will transmit the next new updated coded information, which will change from information delta to information E, that is echo. Like that. Okay, students? So that is information. This point, if you have doubts again and again, I'll clarify again and again. I am going to try
All students, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can hear
Yes,
you.
sir.
Affirm.
Remember I was telling you yesterday, sometimes disconnections can happen. Okay, don't worry, the session will not The session is not going to stop. Just a second, okay? Just bear with me, students. You can take 5 minutes, relax, a short breather, but just stay aware once I come online. Okay, you can follow my voice, right, everyone?
Yes.
Good, good, good. 1 second, okay? Where are we? Okay, good. Okay, just listen to my voice, okay? Anyway, in RT, you have to follow ATC's voice all the time. So, yeah, I was giving you an example of ATIS or DATIS, okay? Let me try if the information can be transmitted. Everybody just listen. Let me know if you can hear this, okay? Just a minute. Can you all hear this?
It is not audible to sir.
It's very low.
Time UTC 0930. Expect radar vector ILS approach runway 29 and runway 27 for arrivals, runway 28 for departures, and runway 29 in mixed mode. Transition level flight level 55. Wind 290 degrees, 8 knots. 5 kilometers. Weather, haze. Temperature, 38 degrees Celsius. Dew point, 4 degrees Celsius.
All stations, how do you read? Can you hear me, students, now? Yeah. Were you able to listen to the call? Recording? Anybody? Students, I am back. Are you there?
Sir, your voice is not clear.
Your voice is not audible.
It is murmuring.
So I think your mic is mute.
Okay, students, can you hear me?
Still not yet audible, sir. It's like somewhat
No
missing.
problem. Give me a second. Give me a second. Now, students, can you hear me now?
Read you too, sir.
Okay, can you not hear me properly? Am I clear? Bhavin, Lakshya, Hardik?
So it's breaking a little for me.
Okay.
Video 3, sir.
Okay.
Sir, your voice is not clear.
How about now? Is it clear?
Not much clear.
Exactly. Your voice is not clear, sir.
Is it clear now?
Negative, sir.
No, sir. No, negative.
Okay, I have an idea. Look.
Can you hear me now, students?
Yeah,
Affirm,
yes,
sir.
sir.
Affirm, sir.
Affirm.
Okay. Okay, you can hear me well, right?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Affirm, sir.
Good, good. Sorry for this, but don't worry, okay? This is the small price we have to pay for the benefits of online learning. Okay.
No problem.
What I'm asking is, students, don't get distracted, okay? Come back. I hope everybody is there. Anyway, we only have 15 minutes before the session stops. Were you able to listen to that call, Delhi ETIS?
No, sir. This audio is not audible.
Yeah, audio
It
was
wasn't
not loud,
clear.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sir, once I tried calling Delhi ICATS and it always shows wrong number.
Is it? So
Yes,
actually,
sir. You gave
students,
us the number.
no, it's not a wrong number. Sometimes it doesn't get connected. That's there. Just a second, okay? I'll try from a different phone, but it works. It works. So they have also given the service for you to do a phone call from. Try this, students. Tell me if this is audible. Now it's going on waiting. So they have given us a service that we can note down the weather information through mobile phone calls also. Okay. That is also an option. Generally, they will give you a VHF frequency. Omar, do you have another question?
Negative, sir.
Okay, fine. Students, just a minute, okay? I want you all to listen to this call. Lakshya, same thing. I'm also getting the same thing. Okay, I'll try to connect. Okay, students, let's bring back our focus. I'll make you hear the ATIS call sometime later, students.
Sir?
Yeah, Neha, go ahead.
I got connected to the DATIS.
Can you try to transmit in your mic?
Yes, sir.
Let's see if we can hear, okay, everyone?
Gandhi International Airport, New Delhi. ICATS information. Info Victor. Time UTC 0930. Expect radar vector ILS approach runway 29 and runway 27. Runway 27 for arrivals, runway 28 for departures, and runway 29 in mixed mode. Transition level flight level 55. Wind 290 degrees, 8 knots. Visibility 5 kilometers. Weather haze. Temperature 38 degrees Celsius. Dew point 4 degrees Celsius. H 1002 hectopascals. Trend no significant change. This was Indira Gandhi International Airport, New Delhi. ICATS information Victor. Contact TC.
Thank you so much, Neha. I think everybody was able to hear it, right? Yes, no?
Affirm, sir.
Affirm, sir.
Yes. This is actual ATIS. Neha, that was very good of you. Very nice of you. Who can tell me what was the code for this information? Who can tell me what was the code for this information? Did you notice? Information Victor. Victor is V. V is Victor. That was the code at the end of the call. Rishi, Pooja, Arfat, Yugandhar, Rishi, are you there with me?
Yes, sir. We are there.
I like your leadership, Yugandhar. But are you guys sitting together? Rishi and Pooja, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Rishabh, you're there.
Affirm, sir. Victor Tango Romeo India Sierra.
Hardik, Gurpreet, Lakshya, Bhavin, Omar,
Affirm, sir.
Neha is there.
Yes, sir.
And Manshi, are you there?
Affirm, sir.
Good. Okay. So that was the call. We'll listen to the call again and we'll learn to write out the call. I'll be giving you that task. Rishabh, please go ahead if you have a doubt.
Yes, sir. So I had a doubt that we lost a connection with you right now. If this happens in the actual scenario, what do we do then?
Very good question. In actual life, that will happen and we are going to train you. That is one of the major important points in your RT training, and that is called as RCF. RCF. Radio Communication Failure. it is one of the most critical things that you will learn in your RT training. What to do when you lose connection with ATC. But like how I had another device, you'll always have a backup option in aviation. That is something that aviation teaches you, to have a lot of fail-safe system design, so that if one thing fails, the other should not fail. So Rishabh, we will be doing it once. I think we'll be doing it towards the end of your training, radio communication failure calls.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll be doing it. It is one of the most important things that you will learn. And one such scenario will be given to you in your exams. Okay, so you should expect one radio communication failure scenario. What to do when you lose connection with ATC? Very good. Good question. Anybody has any other question? Students? Students, is it okay if we extend for 5-10 minutes extra beyond 3:30 today? If yes, then I can show you how to make a call also.
FM, sir.
Only
Go on,
Bhavin
sir.
cannot make it. Bhavin,
Yes, sir.
can you extend 5-10 minutes
Yeah,
extra?
sure. Yeah, sure, sir.
Okay, I thought you were nodding your head. So like, sir,
Oh, no, I was trying to say yes.
okay. Gurpreet, Manshi, good, right? So I'll show you how to
Awesome.
make a good call. We will cover it in the next session also, but today we should do this much, how to make a call. All right. Pooja, Rishabh, no problem, right?
No problem, sir.
Pooja, waiting for your acknowledgement.
No problem, sir.
Okay, thank you. Hardik, all good, right? We can extend, right?
Affirm, sir.
Yeah. Yugandhar, very nice to see that you're making it to the whole class. Very nice. So how to make a call? Today, I'm going to teach this to you, and I'll keep teaching this to you till the time you learn how to do it. Omar, your doubt is resolved. You can remove your hand.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay or Roger? Or affirm? Omar, okay, Roger, or affirm?
Affirm, sir.
Very good. Very good. Follow basic call structure as below. Okay, I'm going to give you a basic call structure. Now, one of you all asked me a question, sir, is there a structure that we need to follow when to use call signs? There is a structure. You follow the structure, your call signs will be taken care of automatically. Okay. And this structure is very important. Before I show you the structure, I want to go back to our startup call and analyze the startup call. This is our startup call. I'm using a yellow marker to highlight the important points. What did I start my call with? I started my call with the ATC's call sign, Mumbai ground, correct? What does Mumbai ground mean? Mumbai ground means whom am I calling or who am I calling? Who are you calling? I am calling Mumbai ground. What is the next thing that I have used? I'm using red highlighter now. My call sign. What is my call sign? Who are you? Who am I? My call sign. First, I started with Mumbai call sign or ATC call sign. Why? Because who are you calling or whom am I calling? And then I said my call. First things, identification. It's like me calling you from an unknown number. Okay. Whenever a call comes from an unknown number, either you think it's a marketing call, or if you answer, if a person is speaking nicely, you ask, who's this? A sane person will immediately tell you, Bhavin, this is Alkesh. Because I know I'm calling from an unknown number and I need to communicate with Bhavin something important. So I'll clarify the doubt with Bhavin initially. Like, Bhavin, this is Alkesh. Similarly, in aviation also we are doing Mumbai ground or Mumbai ATC. This is Air India 191. Correct? Common sense, initially. Then, where am I? I am at stand 2. Correction. Green marker highlight, stand 2. Have you ever heard about bus stand? It is a place where buses are parked for departure and arrival. Similarly, the word stand is also used for aircrafts when they are parked. Where they are parked. Now, this aircraft is parked. It's a Boeing 787. It is parked at stand 2 on Mumbai airport. So there is one stand 2 somewhere on the Mumbai airport. Okay. It's a hypothetical situation. Your stands will also be known as gates or bays. Parking bays, gate number. Generally, some people refer to it as gate number, mainly gate number. For RT called stand or parking bay, they will all have names. In future classes, I'll show you a real airport satellite view also. And I'll show you all airport designations also, because you need to understand airport markings and everything to do taxi calls. So we'll take example of Mumbai and Delhi airport, or maybe Mumbai airport. So here, where am I? In green. I have to mention that also. Where are you? And then, last but not the least, why am I calling? The question, request startup. I'm calling to request startup. Why am I calling? So there are 4 major parts. Who are you calling? Who are you? Where are you? And why are you calling? So, as per that, a basic call structure has 4 W's. Number 1, W1, who are you calling? W2, who are you? This sequence can never break. This sequence should always be there. Here in bracket, you will write ATC call sign. Here, your call sign. That is my call sign as a pilot. W3 is where are you? And W4 is why are you calling? This is the structure you have to follow for every call. Only emergency situation calls will have a slightly modified structure that you learn in future. Where are you? Your present position. Why are you calling? Your reason of request. Here it becomes W1, W2, W3, W4. Note, for first call, structure has to be followed. For replies, after first call, just follow reply strategy. What is reply strategy? That is read back plus acknowledge plus end with call sign. Now, students, why am I showing you this in a structural ways? Because you need to remember this is what you need to do. In class, I'm showing you what to do and how to do, but you have to remember. So only for your first calls will you have to make this call with a call structure. And then when ATC is listening and giving you a clearance, after that, you just give your reply. Then you don't need to follow the call structure. And the classic example of the same is the startup call conversation that we have had. Now, as per this structure, if I come to this call, request startup, let's judge this call. Have I followed 4W structures in this call? Because it's like a fresh call, because quite some time I have spent between startup and getting ready for taxi. Let's check. Do I have W1? Whom am I calling? Mumbai ground? Yes.
Affirmed, sir.
W1. Who am I? W2 followed? Yes. Why am I calling W3? W4 is followed. I'm calling to complete startup, to report startup completion and to request for taxi. Where is W3? Missing. W3 is missing. If it is a first call, you have to mention W3. So you can mention one more thing, stand 2, because you're still at stand 2, but you're not parked. You are just aligned for taxi. Got it? Now it becomes complete. So every call you will be able to analyze. When I'll teach you how to analyze calls, I'll be teaching you, okay? And you will be acting as ATCs also. That's when you have to remember that you have to mention where you are. Manshi, go ahead.
Sir, is there any rule that we have to use W3 before W4?
No. Wait, I'll give this point. Note, students, whatever I'm giving you as a note is like a thumb rule. W1 and W2 will not interchange. W3 and W4 can be interchanged as per your comfort. In normal situations only. In emergency situations, we use why are we calling first and then we say other thing. In normal situations. So W1 and 2, you cannot interchange. First call sign would be the other person's call sign, the ADC call sign. So for you all to practice, you will address me as Mumbai control by default. Or if you want to, if you get bored of Mumbai, you can take any other call sign. But I'll be the ATC and you'll be the pilot. And now I want everybody to assign a call sign to themselves. What is a call sign? We are using such call signs. V is Victor, T is Tango. All aircrafts registered in India aircraft registration number or marking or code. Like your cars and your bikes, they have a registration marking. Aircrafts also have registration marking. The registration code for aircrafts registered with Indian government are 5-letter codes. The first 2 letters are common, VT, Victor, Tango. The next 3 letters is a combination of any 3 letters. I want you all to choose any 3 letters of your choice. You can use the letters that are like abbreviations of your name. Like Omar can use OUM, Oscar, Uniform, Mike, or anything else like first name, first letter, middle name, first letter, last name, first letter. Like Bhavin has Victor Tango, Charlie Bravo, Lima. Lakshay has Victor Tango, Lima, Alpha, Kilo. My call sign, if my aircraft is registered, I like to give this to myself because it is the first 3 letters of my name. So you give me the letters and I'll tell you what is the meaning of the letter. And on Zoom app, you will rename yourself in this RT session with your call sign. So Rishi, tell me what is your call sign. Please rename yourself. I'll tell you how to read it out. And make sure you separate it with a hyphen. Victor Tango stands for Aircraft of India, registered in India. And Alpha Lima Kilo is a unique code for every aircraft.
Sir, VT denotes nationality. of aircraft.
Nationality, yes. VT, Victor Tango, denotes nationality. So no matter Indigo aircraft or old Jet Airways aircraft or new SpiceJet aircrafts, they all will have these codes. Victor Tango and followed by 3 letters. So your call sign, we will assume that it is your private plane and registration marking of your private plane. So Rishi, your call sign is Victor Tango Romeo India Mike. Arfat, please assign yourself a call sign, rename yourself. And Omar, rename yourself. Pooja, rename yourself with your choice of letters.
Sir,
Yes, Pooja.
Victor Tango Papa Kilo Mike.
Okay. Can you try to rename yourself on Zoom? In the option in participants, you will get an option to rename yourself. Victor Tango Papa. Say again.
Kilo
Victor
Mike.
Tango Papa Kilo Mike. Okay. Got it. Try to rename yourself with this, okay? Omar and Arfat, do you need help? Omar and
Excuse me,
Arfat? Victor Tango Sierra Romeo Bravo, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I have already renamed my name. Can you see that?
Yeah, this is Yugandhar, right?
Yes, exactly.
So Yugandhar, you are Victor Tango Sierra Romeo Bravo. Sierra Romeo Bravo.
Which is my favorite aircraft, which I fly with.
Wow, amazing. What model?
DA-40, sir, single engine.
Wow, amazing. So this is a real aircraft registration marking Yugandhar is using.
Yes.
Even Victor Tango Alpha Lima Kilo is an aircraft registered with Air India.
Okay.
This, yeah. Good. Gurpreet, any 3 letters?
Sir, Victor Tango Golf Romeo Papa.
Okay, try to rename yourself where iPhone Gurpreet is written. Victor
Yes,
Tango
sir.
Golf Romeo Papa, right? Yes, Victor Tango Golf Romeo Papa. Omar, you have put a space instead of hyphen. Change it later on. It's okay. Omar is Victor Tango Oscar Uniform Mike. Oscar Uniform Mike. Will you remember, Omar?
Affirm, sir.
Oscar Uniform Mike.
Uniform.
Only Arfat is left. Arfat, are you there? I think Arfat is not there in the session. Okay, Papa Kilo Mike. Papa Kilo Mike is Pooja. Romeo India Sierra is Rishabh. Romeo India Mike is Rishi. Hardik, you are Hotel Romeo Kilo. Hotel Romeo Kilo. Will you remember?
Yes, sir.
Good. Neha. Okay. NEH. Manshi, yours is Mike Alpha November. Mike
sir.
Alpha November. Gurpreet, you are Golf Romeo Papa. Golf Romeo
sir.
Papa. Golf Romeo Papa.
Papa.
You will say Golf Romeo Papa, but you will write GRP only.
Okay, sir.
Arfat, we need to assign you a call sign.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what call sign are you choosing for yourself?
Anything you tell me.
Yeah, any 3 letters of your choice. Tell me. Your name, your surname, middle name.
Sir, 5 minute बाद सोच के बताऊं.
No problem. Take your time. You can directly rename yourself in the app.
Okay.
I will realize.
Okay.
Students from next class onwards, remember to rename. And I might get confused between your call signs and your names initially. So you have to identify yourself properly. It will simulate a realistic environment. We will try to create a realistic radio telephony environment as much as we can so that you get the best feel, plus you're prepared for the examination. Coming back to your basic call structure, did you get it, students?
Sir,
What is
I
the
have
basic
another
call
doubt.
structure? Yeah, Manshi, go ahead.
Sir, in the previous class, lecture 1, you taught us that if we have any doubt, we can put it in our last 2 pages by the name parking lot and parking bay.
Correct.
Right, sir? Sir, today you told us that where our aircraft are parked, We use stand, gates, and bays, right, sir?
Yes.
Can we use lot also?
In aviation, we don't use lot.
Okay, sir.
No.
Roses, sir.
Okay, good. In aviation, we don't use a lot, but a parking lot is used elsewhere for car parks, basically. So you can rename the page as parking bay. That page is very important for your doubts, okay? Or parking stand or parking gate or parking lot. But we are aviators, so we will use aviation terms, right? Why go four-wheelers when you have three? What not three? How many wheelers is an aircraft? Nobody talks about aircrafts in terms of wheelers, right? Omar, you have a
Negative, sir.
question?
Negative, sir.
Fine, great. Students, remember this call structure. Next class that we will have, you will get a fresher schedule for the next week. Over the weekend, you will be getting an email. In the email, your class will be done. Until then, you have to talk one-on-one session with me, either on call or Zoom. We will discuss your strategy, your plan, and your admission and your confirmation. We have to do all that before the next week. Okay. Next week, mostly not on a Monday, but maybe from Tuesday, you will have your lectures, a soft update. We will be keeping the similar time for you for a few more days. Okay. And we will be learning more. Based upon this call structure, in next class, we will try to learn a few more calls. And then we will learn the smaller things, that is the words and the phrases and the letters. And after that, I'll be teaching you flight plan and map reading. So things to do. We will just write down things to do so that we remember. Point number 1, more ground calls based upon structure. So we'll see how to use the structure. Second thing, I'll first teach you flight plan. Third thing, phrases, numbers, alphabet. Now I might interchange here and there, but these are important topics we'll be covering. Then fourth is chart or map reading. And after that will be, no, after that, with more ground calls, add runway and ATC circuit. I have to show you the aerodrome and what is the meaning of ATC circuit. And number 5, you can write down more calls. That's it. It will go on and on. Then there will be calls. So these are your fundamentals. First, we will focus on structure, how to make ground calls. Then I'll teach you what is a flight plan. This flight plan will also help you in navigation if you have not done navigation. And people who have done navigation, your knowledge of flight plan will be helpful. Then we will come to the most boring phase, which is learning phrases, numbers, and alphabet. And then we'll come to the most interesting phase, which is chart reading and map reading. And then we'll do more calls. Everything cannot be done in one small session of 1.5 hours. But this is the sequence in which we'll be following. If I feel like flight plan is more important than other calls first, then I'll teach you flight plan first. Okay. So remember, timing will be the same. Just the date will be confirmed with you. And before that, we have to get done with your confirmations. Students who have not given me a feedback, let me know if you liked it or didn't like it initially. And if there is anything that I can improve to make it better for you, please let me know. That is very much important for me to improve, to help you better. Remember, our target is to clear RT exam in the first attempt. And I'm going to give you everything that you need to do that. All you have to do is give me your attention and acknowledgement. Okay? Are the instructions clear, everyone?
Victor Tango Romeo India Sierra.
Custom Victor Tango Charlie Bravo.
Everyone, right? So mentally be prepared that mostly Tuesday you will have your class, first class for next week. Mentally be prepared. Confirmation via email and WhatsApp. I will be confirming with you all because you are new. Do not forget, and please do not make me run behind you before the lecture. Where are you? Are you aware or not? Let's have that mutual confidence in each other that we are aware about this timeline. Like today, I am very, very impressed by everyone, students. 2 students who could not attend, they told me they could not attend. And only 2 students gave me a confirmation that they will be attending today. So I was thinking that maybe you all did not like the lecture, maybe you're not interested. But when everybody joined, I was very happy to see that we have this confidence that you are following instructions. It is a sign of a progressed student, a student who's already been with us for a month or so. And if you can do that in your first 2 lectures, then I think your RT training will get over in a very shorter span of time. Are you following? So this is commendable. I'm very happy to see that all like-minded students are studying together. Nobody's creating nuisance, and it just feels like I'm teaching existing pilots a refresher course. That feeling as a trainer. So keep it up, everyone. And if there is any problem, let me know. And please have that one-on-one conversation with me. We can also do a chat conversation if you're not available for calls or Zoom. I'm going to take your leave. Thank you for giving me extra 15 minutes. I'll see you next week, next class. I want everybody to be present because we'll be learning a lot and having a lot of fun also. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Have a good day, sir.
Happy weekend.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Happy
Thank you, sir.
weekend. Yugandhar feels like you're already celebrating. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, everyone. See you. Bye.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. So can you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
scroll up the notes part I have not taken? I will screenshot it. So notes.
Which?
Sir, after
Notes.
4 Ws.
Yeah. Here.
Yes.
Take a screen. No rush. I forgot to ask before leaving, do you have any doubts? I'm so sorry. My bad. Should I scroll again?
Yes, a little bit scroll down, sir.
One more note, right? Yeah,
Yes,
second. If it's difficult to understand the spelling, students, just let me know, okay? Good. Arfat, next lecture, I want your call sign. Okay, fine. All right, Gurpreet and Bhavin, see you. Omar, done?
Thank you so much, sir.
Let's wrap it. All right,
Thank you
great.
so much, sir. Have a great day.
Most welcome.
Goodbye, sir.
Yes, goodbye. Thank you so much. Goodbye.